Stories of reincarnation from the perspective of a bodhisattva. In ancient times, during the Liang dynasty in China, there was a Zen master named Zhi Gong, a highly virtuous and respected monk. No historical records mention the identity of his parents. People often tell the story that one day, a woman heard the cries of a baby on a high tree branch. She climbed up and found a baby in an eagle's nest. She took the baby home and raised it. Although the baby's body was completely human, its fingernails and toenails resembled those of an eagle. When the baby grew up, it became a monk and attained the 5 eyes and 6 supernatural powers. The identity of its parents was unknown. Only that it was born in an eagle's nest led people to speculate that it was born from an eagle's egg. The enlightenment of reincarnation at that time, Emperor Liang Wu, like everyone else, greatly respected and admired Zen masters. No matter what events they encountered in life, such as childbirth, the death of parents, or marriage, they would always invite Zen masters to chant prayers and offer blessings. One day, a wealthy family invited a Zen master to chant prayers and offer blessings for their daughter's wedding, hoping that the marriage would be auspicious and fulfilling. When Zen master Zhi Gong arrived at the house and saw the bride and groom, he said, "How strange, how strange. The grandson is marrying his grandmother. How strange means that such an event has never happened before. This is not something that often occurs. It is truly bizarre to see a grandson marrying his grandmother." In this world, without understanding the karmic connections of the past, it is impossible to explain the relationships between fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, siblings, friends, etc. Why? Because everyone could have been each other's husband or wife in a previous life. One person could be the father or son of another in a previous life. Or one person could be both mother and daughter of another in a previous life. Your paternal grandfather in a previous life might marry your granddaughter in this life. Or your maternal grandmother in a previous life might be reborn as your daughter. Anything is possible, and all are subject to unpredictable changes. In this family, the story of grandson marrying grandmother stems from a past event. When the grandmother was dying, she left a dying wish to the entire family. "My son has just married and has an heir. My daughter has also found a husband. I have nothing more to worry about." She was completely satisfied and put aside all other concerns, except for one, her grandson. What will his future be like? Who will take care of him? Will his wife be capable? I cannot help but worry about him. She held her grandson's hand and passed away. It is said that if everything goes as desired, and the dying person is in a peaceful state of mind, then they will be able to close their eyes. Otherwise, they will not be able to close their eyes. The old woman said, "I am very worried about my grandson. I cannot close my eyes when I die." After saying this, she passed away with her eyes open. Her consciousness was still filled with anxiety. When she met the king of hell, she wept and said, "I have a grandson, and no one to take care of him." The king of hell replied, "All right. You may return to the mortal world to take care of him." After saying this, she was reborn into the mortal world. When she reached marriageable age, she married her former grandson. Therefore, it is said, the grandson married his grandmother. Isn't that strange? Just because of a single thought of attachment that could not be let go of, so many karmic ties were created. Because she was so preoccupied with her grandson, she later became his wife. Think about it, isn't this a strange story? You might ask, how did Zen master Zhi Gong know that? The Zen master knew because he had attained the 5 eyes and 6 supernatural powers. Just by looking, he immediately knew that the bride's previous life was that of the groom's grandmother. Because the grandmother had harbored a wrong thought of attachment, she was now reborn as a human, and as the wife of her grandson. If even one good thought is like that, imagine the consequences of evil thoughts, or the repeated occurrences of evil thoughts. How long would it take to end the cycle of reincarnation in the 3 realms and 6 paths? The Zen master then looked among the wedding guests and saw a little girl eating meat. He said, "The daughter is eating her mother." Because the meat the little girl was eating was goat meat, this goat was the reincarnation of the little girl's mother. In her previous life, she had committed such great evil deeds that she was reborn as a goat. Now she is being eaten by her own daughter. The cycle of karmic retribution arising from the ignorance of sentient beings is beyond description. The Bodhisattvas, out of compassion, resolved to save sentient beings because of this. When the Zen master looked at the musicians, he saw one playing a drum. He said, "The son is beating his father." Because that drum was covered with donkey skin. This donkey was the musician's father. Reincarnated as a human, this donkey was slaughtered, its skin used to make the drumhead. What a tragic cycle of reincarnation. He looked around the wedding and continued. Pigs and goats are seated above. He saw countless pigs, sheep, goats, and chickens reincarnated as humans. Now they were all relatives and had come to attend this wedding. Looking into the kitchen, he said, "The 6 relatives are being cooked in the pot." This refers to parents, siblings, relatives, and friends who, in a previous life, had slaughtered too many pigs and chickens for food, and were now being reborn as pigs, goats, and chickens, then slaughtered, put into a pot, and cooked again. He continued. Everyone is happily congratulating each other. Everyone attending the wedding was very happy and congratulating each other. He lamented to himself, "Seeing this scene, my heart aches. I know that this is the cycle of karmic debts, creating a mountain of suffering." Zen master Zhi Gong clearly understood karma when he looked at this family. How can we fully understand the chain of karma in each family, with its countless differences? Therefore, those who practice the Dharma must be very careful in cultivating virtue. Because when the conditions ripen, they will reap the corresponding fruits of their actions. Why do people return to being human? It's about repaying debts, the karmic debts of this world. If you don't find a way to repay these debts, the debts will continue, like the debts you borrowed from the bank. I remember another story. There was a family who owned a donkey, using it to pull a mill and transport goods. The owner found the donkey too slow, so he often whipped it to urge it on. The donkey worked tirelessly until it died. It was reborn as a human. When the owner who used to beat the donkey died, he was reborn as a woman. When both of them reached marriageable age, they got married. Do you know how this couple lived together? The husband beat his wife all day long. He beat her at any time, regardless of what he was holding. Even while eating, he would beat her with chopsticks. He would beat and curse her, even though she had done nothing wrong. One day, Zen master Zhi Gong passed by their house. The woman then said to the master, "My husband beats and curses me terribly every day, and I don't know why. Master, please use your 5 eyes and 6 supernatural powers to tell me the cause and effect relationship between us in our previous lives that causes my husband to beat and curse me so constantly in this life." Zen master Zhi Gong replied, "I will explain the cause and effect relationship between you two. In your previous life, you were a man. Every day you beat and cursed the donkey, urging it to pull the millstone. That master often beat the donkey with a bamboo broom. Now that master has been reborn as a woman, that is you. And the donkey has been reborn as your husband. Now that he often beats and curses you, just as you often beat and cursed him, the donkey, in your previous life. Now that you understand the cause and effect relationship, I will show you a way to end this cycle of karmic retribution. Hide all the tools in the house except for the horsehair broom, rope broom. When your husband sees that he has nothing else to beat you with, he will use this rope broom. Let him beat you a few hundred times, and your old debt will be repaid. Then, let him know that the cause and effect of past lives are clearly interconnected, as I have just explained to you. He will no longer beat you. The woman did exactly as Zen Master Kai Kong instructed. When her husband returned home, he immediately looked for something to beat her with. He found only the horsehair broom, picked it up, and began beating her. Usually, she would try to escape. But this time, she patiently sat there and endured the blows until her husband stopped. Surprised, he asked why she didn't run away. She recounted how Zen Master Kai Kong had explained the detailed cause and effect relationship between them. The husband, after hearing this, pondered, "From now on, I shouldn't beat or scold her anymore. If I continue to do so, she will be reborn in the next life and seek me out to beat and scold me again." From then on, the husband stopped beating and scolding his wife. Reincarnation is endless for those who do not understand the true Dharma. Therefore, you must know that everyone is connected to each other according to the karma they have created. You cannot know who your mother, brother, father, or sister was in a previous life. The karma created in a previous life will create the effect in this life and will certainly be related to your relatives. If you understand the principle of karma, you can transform and change your karma by abandoning evil deeds. There is another story about Zen Master Zhi Gong. One day, he ate 2 pigeons. He really liked this dish. The chef thought that pigeon meat must be very delicious, so one day he decided to taste it. He did this with 2 thoughts in mind. On the one hand, he wanted to test whether the food he had prepared today was delicious. On the other hand, he thought that Master Zhi Gong liked to eat pigeon every day, so this must be a very delicious dish. And he wanted to taste a little before bringing it to the Zen Master. When the cook brought the food, the Zen Master looked at the plate and asked, "Did someone secretly taste this food today? Was it you?" The cook immediately denied it. The Zen Master then said, "You still deny it? I will show you with your own eyes who secretly tasted it. Look here." He then sat down to eat. After eating 2 pigeons, he opened his mouth wide, and one pigeon immediately flapped its wings and flew out, while the other lost a wing and could not fly. The Zen Master then said, "You see, if you hadn't secretly tasted it, why couldn't this pigeon fly? It's because you ate one of its wings." This made the cook realize that Zen Master Zhi Gong was no ordinary person. He was an incarnation of a Bodhisattva. Therefore, he had the ability to bring cooked pigeons back to life. Only a Bodhisattva could do this. Zen Master Zhi Gong also often ate a type of fish called the wisdom fish. He would cook the fish and eat it from tail to head. But afterwards, he would open his mouth and bring the fish back to life. Therefore, these things are very common for those in the realm of bodhisattvas. Zen Master Zhi Gong was a bodhisattva, but he never said, "Do you know, I am a bodhisattva, I am teaching sentient beings. I have this great vow, that vow." He never aspired to have such thoughts. Therefore, we, as ordinary people, even if we see Buddhas or bodhisattvas, cannot truly recognize them. The actions of a bodhisattva are almost the same as those of an ordinary person, but in essence they are different. This is because ordinary people, when acting, only think of their own benefit, not of helping others. Bodhisattvas, on the other hand, only think of the benefit of others, not themselves. The difference lies in this point. A bodhisattva benefits themselves while also caring for the benefit of others. After achieving self-enlightenment, they help others achieve enlightenment. Complete self-salvation, complete altruism. Excerpt from the Dharma Commentary on the Great Compassion Mantra, Venerable Master Zhan Hua.